Do you want to know how you can get the CIMA qualification faster? Join CIMA through the CGMA Finance Leadership Program, a self-paced digital learning and assessment platform designed to ensure smarter learning and faster success. Discover the power of opportunity with the fastest route to completing the CIMA Professional Qualification at an affordable price and at double the speed.
So I come from a family of sportsmen and women. Both my parents have represented Sri Lanka at this Asian Games in their relevant sports. My dad, uncle and aunt have both represented Sri Lanka at the Olympic Games. So from a young age I was always put into sports. I started table tennis as I have a brother who is a year older than me, and he used to go for practice and I used to accompany him all the time. And his coach, Mr. Lalit Priyanka, allowed me to play with him whilst he was practicing. That's kind of how I started my career in table tennis. I played many sports as well. I played table tennis, I did synchro, I represented my school in all three of those sports. Yeah, so in grade 4 I represented my school in the under 10 and 12 age groups. Although I was only 9 years old, I still played for school because I had started off earlier. Playing for school was always something that I liked doing and enjoyed doing because table tennis is not a team sport, but the only time you actually get to play with your team is when you're playing for school and internationally, of course. But for school, we played under 17 and we won that every single time we played, so that's a moment that kind of stands out. We won it for the 4th consecutive year last year in 2020. Playing under 19 for the school was also a big moment because we won that last year as well. So yeah. So for basic foot movement and my technique correction, I trained in America, but mainly I've trained in Australia as well. I've been there on multiple occasions. That was when I saw top players training. It was a really good experience. I learned how they train and how they do their footwork and technique correction, which was really great because you don't get that a lot here in Sri Lanka because top players are mostly out of Sri Lanka. in 2019, the South Asian Games were being held in Nepal, Kathmandu, and that was the same year that I was supposed to sit for my O-levels. So going into the trials, I did not expect to get in the team just because I was studying for my O-levels and it was the same time period that the O-levels was supposed to be. So I went the trial just for the match experience, but somehow I won enough matches to actually get into the team. And so there came a difficult decision because our O-levels were the same week as the week of the South Asian Games in Nepal. So I had to choose between sitting for my O-levels or actually going for the SAF Games. But because the SAF Games only come once every 3 years, it was a very hard choice. So I told my parents that I would sit for my exam in Nepal if that was possible. I was not very sure of myself of doing that just because the stress of doing your O-levels and doing all 9 subjects and also performing well was kind of there, but I managed to do it just because I've been doing it since I was in grade 4, playing tournaments and studying at the same time. So playing in the South Asian Games was such a surreal experience just because it was the first open international tournament that I had played, and just going into it, the weather was off, it was really cold. And playing in Sri Lanka, you're not used to that at all because when we play here, we're dripping in sweat. There, it was very cold, so we had to get used to that as well. And also, playing with the best in South Asia was hard, but it's a learning experience, and you go to just play your best without really thinking of results, and that's what I did. In the South Asian Games, we got a silver medal in the team event. We lost to India. So just seeing them playing and how they use their tactics and how they use their serves to play and their different footwork is really good because we don't really see that. And they are so much ahead of our country. We're coming up, but they've just really gotten really good. So seeing how they play and how they use their different serves to win points and how they always plan their shots out was a really good experience. In terms of internationally, in the South Asian Games, we always come second. Whenever it's South Asia, we always come second to India. So personally, I would like to beat India internationally, just because we've always come second, and I would personally just like to get the gold medal and beat them. But as a team, it would be nice to win as well, just because they've always won the gold medal. So mainly I would just like to thank my parents first of all, because if it wasn't for their continuous support, I would not be here where I am, because just for tournaments every day, practicing, my mother has really helped me with that. I would also like to thank my first coach, Mr. Lalit Priyantha, because if it wasn't for him, I would not be playing either. My school coach, Mr. N.H. Pereira, who has always supported us, especially during our inter-school games. When we are down, he's always given us the motivation to play better. I would like to thank my current coach as well, Mr. Milinda Lakshita, for just practicing with me and coming whenever I want him to play. Mr. Milinda Lakshita for always practicing with me, and also my fitness coach who always comes and supports me and improves my footwork. I would also thank Ms. Isha Spildevin, the principal of our school, because when I was going for South Asian Games, she gave me an entire month of school to train with the national team, because we had training for an entire month, twice a day, every single day. So without her support and the school support, I would not have been able to study and play at the same time. I would also like to thank our teacher in charge, Ms. Padmi Ratnayakar. She's been a teacher in charge from the time I joined the sport in school, and she's always been there for every single international tournament, just supporting us and doing what she can and making sure we're all prepared for the tournament. So to the younger generation, I would just say, do the sport that you love, because hard work does pay off, but at the end of the day, if you don't enjoy playing it and if you don't feel motivated to do it, it's not really going to work out. And also, now balancing your sports and your education is a big thing. So just doing it from a young age is really important. It helps with multitasking, and it's just a really good experience.
Do you want to know how you can get the CIMA qualification faster? Join CIMA through the CGMA Finance Leadership Program, a self-paced digital learning and assessment platform designed to ensure smarter learning and faster success. Discover the power of opportunity with the fastest route to completing the CIMA Professional Qualification at an affordable price and at double the speed.